Shades of Green Divas. We're in different parts of the country on a Zoom, but we just wanted to have our masks on.
Max made us mask up.
It must mask up.
And that means covering your nose, people.
Right. It's not a mask diaper for your chin or just a mouth covering. You got to get it on your nose, and you have to mask up when you're with people. You must socially distance, and we got to get this thing out. We got to get rid of Corona. And I know someone has to do a takeoff on my Sharona and call it my Corona.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
It's been done.
A parody. But anyway,
well,
now since we're in different parts of the country and not near each other, except I'm near my new puppy who's now sleeping. And
I'm down the hall from my husband down there. Hi, Wayne.
Yeah, let's introduce Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Maggie.
Hey, Malcolm.
And we put our puppy outside the kennel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm going to stop screen sharing so we can see each other better.
Yeah,
there we go.
How's that?
I can hear you now. Oh, look, Max, look at the t-shirts we have on.
here go. Shake it, baby.
I know how else to like show off my.
We got our Green Diva shirts on. You see?
We'll get an X rating here.
That's right.
Max has got it on right. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have one.
There you go.
You know, it only gets
Don't
weird
feel bad,
when you start
Malcolm.
taking them off.
Well,
Right.
I had asked Maxine. I know you do green dudes, but are they green Divos? What's a Devo?
Yes, we have a green Devo in Chicago who stubbornly spells it incorrectly, but yeah.
Wow. Do you want to be a green Devo? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't want to
Malcolm?
be a dude. A dude reminds me too much of the old movies. Hey, dude.
Well, dude reminds me of, The Big Lebowski, and I love that shit movie.
Yeah. But it's okay to be a green Devo as long as you spell it correctly. D-I-V-O.
Yeah, make sure there's an O. Well, Wayne's a green dude, though, right?
Yeah, I'm a green dude.
Okay, that's
Because,
good.
yeah, Mike Novak in Chicago, one of our green Devos, spells it D-E-V-O because he was into Devo in the 80s.
Oh, that.
Are we
I'm
not
I'm
green?
D-I-V-O.
Are we not Devo, he says?
So what do we have, like a line down the middle of the country? Anyone who's like from the mid towards west is Devo, and anything from the mid towards east is dude. Okay.
In Brooklyn, when I was raised, I was not. The Devo is a Jewish American prince.
Is it?
I'm a Devo.
I like
Okay.
it.
I mean, Maxine can attest to that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can.
You are.
We don't know you well enough, Max, to make that delineation, but
I don't know.
I trust you.
Okay.
But
good.
anyway, we were here to talk about, well, number one, did you guys hear the debate?
Did we hear the debate?
Oh, yeah, there they are.
That's debatable. Just looking at that picture, how much did he deduct from his taxes for his haircuts?
$70,000.
$70,000.
$70,000.
You're right. 70,000.
Yeah, but obviously he doesn't live in Los Angeles because otherwise it would be more.
Megan, I don't ever want you to complain about my haircut bill ever again.
I know, right? I've never complained about the bill. I'm just shocked because you used to go like every 4 weeks to get your haircut.
Now it's been 4 months.
Wayne, I thought you weren't going to go on
6
camera
months.
until you got your haircut.
Well, Megan, this is Megan's show, so I can screw her.
Oh,
her
okay.
I love your ponytail, my hippie husband.
Well, see, I'm going back to my preteen days, or my actually elementary school. Every summer in Brooklyn, my mother took me to the barber to get a crew cut.
Right.
So in the Jewish thing, I wouldn't schwitz. I wouldn't sweat too much in the summer.
Right.
Yeah, the boys got buzzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking about sweating, going back into our original topic, it was 107 degrees in Los Angeles yesterday.
What?
Wow.
107 on September 30th.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
But there's no climate change.
No.
No, there's no climate change.
It's still in our imagination.
It's the,
But anyway, getting back to our two heroes.
well, you
So,
know,
so
Old white guy.
what did you guys think?
well,
Really?
you know, as I
Without
said,
using profanity.
I don't want to give
Come on.
clowns. I didn't want to give clowns a bad name, but my question is, what happened to civility? I mean, seriously. All I can say is, you know, if my brother Mitch has an amazing quote that we always use: "Nothing makes sense and plenty of it." And he always liked to clown around, but in this sense, I think he's up there looking down, going, "What the hell is going on?"
Mitch is saying, what the fuck is wrong with it?
Right, you know,
Well,
what the.
I
don't know.
think Jack Tapper, like we were watching it on CNN, and when they cut to the commentation afterwards, and everybody's face is like, Jack Tapper said, "Well, that was a hot mess in a dumpster fire in a train wreck." And then like they cut to this Dana Bash person who says, "I have no other way to explain this. It was a shit show." And had I been drinking fluid, I definitely would have snarked, because that was not what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you know, so many things happened, and they need to cut the mics. They're, you know, it's
A
just,
mute
at
button.
this
They need a
point,
mute button.
what?
They need a mute button.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they have it, but the fact is, both parties have to agree to it. And for that particular debate, the other day, they hadn't talked about it and they hadn't agreed upon it.
Oh,
But
well,
now they're thinking about it.
if they do more debates, yes, please.
No, they have to.
And can we have Samuel L. Jackson? Someone suggested he be the moderator.
I think Rather did a pretty good job. Not Rab, Wallace, excuse me.
I can't fault the guy. It was a horrible situation, and he didn't have a mute button.
Yeah, and it was hard. It was hard to shut up a sitting president of the United States without seeming disrespectful.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was ever disrespectful. I gave him credit for being as firm as he could be.
Right, and it was because he couldn't say shut up like Biden said.
Well, you know, Trump projects all the time, and he said he wanted to have drug tests done before because Biden, you know. Meanwhile, if he wasn't on Adderall that night, I don't know, or some speed or something. I mean, he was just uncontrollable.
But the question, did they say anything about anything?
Yeah.
Well, certain things came out. We know that Trump is now getting his Boone party ready. But, you know, for him not to say, say that white supremacy is a bad thing is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And then there were, you know, and I don't blame Biden for, you know, calling him out and telling him to shut up. I mean, I think people were clapping all over America when that happened because everyone wanted to do the same thing. But, you know, Biden, he tried to get some points through and he was, you know, yelled over. But he did say some things about the Green New Deal, which made, you know, the paper basically, he said, you know, he doesn't support it. And of course, I'm sure the progressives were freaking out, you know, you said you did, blah, 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 blah. But really what it is, you know, he basically is, you know, he believes in his statement, he would say that, you know, Trump, during the debate, Trump tried to link the Democratic nominee to the Green New Deal. Trump thinks it would cost $100 trillion and eliminate airplanes and cows. Yes, airplanes and cows will go away and $100 trillion. No, not true. Biden's website, the campaign website, says he believes believes in quotes, Green New Deal is a crucial framework for addressing the environment and economic challenges of climate change.
Wait,
you know,
let's back up really quick. First of all, they weren't scheduled to talk about and have any questions about climate change.
Right, Wallace brought it up.
And Wallace brought it up, so I was like, all right, Chris, you get points for that.
Right.
And, you know, at that point, when he was asked about the Green New Deal, Trump was harassing him verbally. He could barely answer. And so it, you know, then it came out like, and then Chris was like, do you support the Green New Deal? And he's like, no. And then I immediately started getting messages from my Facebook, because I was on Facebook, like, you know, with my people. Oh, see, Biden's a liar. He's a liar. And I'm like, oh, come on, people. Really? You're calling him a liar because he, you know, anyway. So
Trump tried to corner him. He tried to make him the ultra liberal that sort of like a Bernie Sanders or the AOC professed, and which the Democratic Party per se has said, no, wait, we're not that far. We're not that far left. We're not socialists, and we're not, or he's socialists and communists.
So that is one of the hot buttons. So I read about the Green New Deal thing. The reason he won't really openly say, you know, I support the Green New Deal, is he's trying to separate. So I found a Slate article. The headline is the Green New Deal, that Biden's climate plan is the Green New Deal minus the crazy, because it's perceived that the Green New Deal is just a little too far and too extreme. The truth is, Biden's plan is really aggressive, in some ways far more aggressive than you know, the Green New Deal. But like Max said, he is using it as a framework, and he's trying to make a plan that works, and it's got the same elements that are always there. Wayne, you reported on that with us last year or something, right?
But you know, the president tries to tie it into, you know, it's going to hurt the American workers, and it's, you know, that's not the plan. The plan is to help the American worker, and we're not, and the Green New Deal or any form of the Green New Deal is not going to do away with, you know, hamburgers and cars, which is, you know, insanity, but that's the Republican default position. You know, we're going to take away your hamburgers and your cars.
Right. Like, okay.
Well, just being very simplistic. As far as I know, Trump does not have a plan to change any energy. What he's trying to do is bring us back to the, funny to say, to the 20th century. He wants more oil. He wants more, the two clowns, or he's a clown. He wants more oil. He wants more coal. And the thing with the coal industry, which is interesting, even if he brings back the coal industry, the miners aren't going to be working there because they're going to have robots that do it. It's going to be all automated.
Yeah.
So it's not going to really be creating any jobs. And I don't know.
We're using less coal now than when he took office in 2019.
16.
Oh, 16.
Or 16, excuse me. God, has it been that long?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
it's been a nightmare.
You're trying to repress it, Wayne.
I don't know, you know, it's
been a shit show, Max.
Yeah, it's a shit show, all right. I mean,
right.
Well, Biden plan, you know, he wants U.S. to achieve 100% clean energy economy with net zero emissions by 2050. He wants to also be back in the Paris Accord. You know, we're the only nation in the world, pretty much, that is not in the Paris Accord. So he wants to do a lot of different things. And the difference is that you know, Biden's plan, he also focuses on research and development for clean energy and for tax credits to get, you know, renewable power and electric vehicles. Trump has not proposed a climate plan at all, really.
Zero.
Well,
zero.
Let's be more definitive about this. Trump not proposed a plan for anything.
Right.
This part,
Or
Meg, could you put us,
he has
could
not,
you put
he
the
has
four of
not
us back
spoken.
on? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Trump also focused more on deregulation of utilities and deregulating carbon emissions.
No, Trump's only plan is for fossil fuels and deregulation.
Exactly.
And it's
Well,
energy.
That's a climate plan.
That's his.
What Trump brags about, he said he has done away with regulations. I mean, that's the thing. He's the president that's done away with most regulations, executive order. But the regulations he does away with is air pollution, water pollution, any pollution that Obama did, protections against the environment that Obama did. He did away with the regulations.
He had a lot of nerve during the debate to say, I want clean water, I want clean air. And you're like, really? Because all your actions say the opposite.
Pretty much.
I
mean, he's all about drilling in the Arctic and doing all kinds of things.
The Alaska Wildlife Preserve, he wants to do drilling in that now.
Yeah, he wants to drill, and then he wants to kill hibernating bears and cubs and wolves.
Well, they're going to be killed anyway. They're going to be killed anyway, the polar bears, because the icebergs are melting. They're not going to have a place to live.
Yeah.
And you see, bless you.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax. I don't know.
Max, don't you have a song about all this?
Well, I did. I wrote. Back in the day, because being a boomer, in the 60s and early 70s and 50s, there were protest music. Dylan and Guthrie and Pete Seeger, and they would have tunes that people would grasp that would help when protests were happening, and people were enraged about things, but they also wanted to promote hope and peace and love and understanding. And so I kind of fiddled with a song. I mean, I could try it.
I think you should. I want to hear it.
Stop being modest. Do it.
No, I'm a shy person. Can't you tell?
No.
You're among friends.
I guess I'll get the guitar out and see if I can.
Strum along.
It's called "Find the Blue," and it's a folky kind of song. Okay.
Good.
So here we go. Meg, you know this, so you can come along too. Oh, Mother Earth, what have we done? We've darkened the clouds and the sun. Mother Earth, what can we do? Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Find the blue. Find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Ocean's blue. Skies are blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Oh, Mother Earth, we did you wrong. Now it's time to unite and be strong. Mother Earth, this one's for you. Time to wake up our hearts and be true. Time to wake up our hearts and be true. Find the blue. Find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Ocean's blue. Skies are blue. blackness, we will find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Mm-hmm. The climate's changing, our lives are rearranging. The weather just alters our minds. Oh my, it's cold where it's hot. It's hot where it's cold. Some things you just can't not deny. Mother Earth, have we done? We've darkened the clouds and the sun. Mother Earth, what can we do? Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Through the blackness, we will find the blue. Mm-hmm.
Max, you gotta teach me that song. We'll work the harmony.
Bravo.
Yay!
Hey, I think I got just the guy to sing that.
Who?
Denny.
Oh, Denny, yeah. Well, Denny
He's
and
got
Tom.
that. He's got
And
that.
Max. Max has to sing
He's
it
got
too.
that raspy
I
voice.
don't have to sing it. I would love someone to sing it. I
Well,
could
we have
get
to record it up
Got
here at
that
the
raspy
studio as soon as you can
voice.
come here.
How about we get, how about we get the tokens?
Yeah,
We get
Sure.
Phil and the tokens.
Phil, the main singer was Mitch, and
Right, we can,
that kind of did things in a bit.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, this reminded me of back in the 60s, I lived in the Village.
Right.
In the mid 60s, late 60s. And I used to go to Gertie's Folk City,
Mm-hmm.
Been there.
which
Yes.
was a big place for the folk music.
Right. We got to
Well-
bring folk music back with a message.
Oh, and I mean, that's my favorite form of music to this day.
Folk rock.
Malcolm, do you remember Dave Van Ronk?
Yeah.
Well, that's,
He's
I mean,
the only guy that- him and Bob Dylan are the only two people that sing worse than me.
I saw Dylan at Folk City when he was, just beginning. Of course, I love Pete Seeger. Aside from it- Aside from his music, I loved, how he stood, the things that he stood for. And
Right.
talking
Yeah.
about ecology, that was him. I mean,
Yeah, if you ever want to be inspired, watch, and they played it on PBS like 1,000 times, and they dredge it up every once in a while for a fundraiser. But there was a documentary about Pete that every time Wayne and I stumble across it, we watch it, we cry, we're like, oh, let's go out and,
well,
somewhere.
he had a big thing about cleaning up the Hudson River all the way. The Hudson River is, most people know it just being in New York City, but it went all the way to upstate, and he had a boat.
The Clearwater.
Yeah, that he used to do at concerts.
Organization, and Pete Seeger, and they would have this amazing 2-day concert every year, which they couldn't have this year. It's in June, and they have fantastic people, and I've been to a number of them, and it's all environmental. They have different organizations come. They have it's really terrific, and he holds a place dear and near to me because he did Wim Away. He did the version of Wim Away.
Did he do it before the tokens?
Then before the tokens, he took the Solomon Linda Mbube that was sent to him from South Africa via somebody. There's a whole story, and then he did Wim Away, and then the tokens did the Line Sleeps Tonight. They auditioned for RCA with that melody, although the tokens actually wrote a good part of the melody, and that's a whole other lawsuit that happened. But that could be a story for 17 hours. But the fact that, I feel closer to Pete Seeger in that way as well. because of that.
Well, again, Pete Seeger takes me back to my youth because I used to see him on the Brooklyn College campus when he did concerts. I always made sure he did concert at the band, the Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Right.
And I always went there, and just such a good feeling. I mean, he got on stage, and he was the same way on stage as to see him on TV, as to see him in person, just so folksy and real.
Yeah.
And you knew he, meant what he said. Well, I think he wrote "Blowing in the Wind," did he?
No.
Who wrote that?
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, okay.
Bob Dylan wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So,
And Bob Dylan, I used to understand what he meant, but then he got into his period. I didn't know what the hell he meant by his songs.
It was called the Marbles in the Mouth period.
Yeah.
so
But anyway, so Seeger was into the whole cleaning up the Hudson River because you couldn't go there. You couldn't swim in the Hudson River.
You still can't really.
Well, I think that for a while upstate it was pristine, but now that Trump has done away with all the regulations with what the factories can do and what they could pollute the oceans with.
Well, we have river keepers all over the country. We have a very good river keeper here in New York, and also we have a terrific river keeper who wrote a book called The Green Amendment. Maya Van Rossum, who we had on the show, we should have her back. And they're trying to keep the rivers cleaner, and so we have people working on this. And when you ask like what people can do, okay, join up the Delaware River Keepers, join the New York River Keeper, become part of, help their organizations any way you can. And that's important for us to have cleaner air, water, and land. Since everything's being pulled out, we have to do everything ourselves.
Right. To me, the more I look into this, the more I realize that the most important thing that we need is for the climate is preventing the destruction of the earth, because it's getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see, if the water is polluted, no, it's bad, but if what's happening now, let's say what's happening in California. In California, we're ablaze. We just started 2 new fires this week. I have a cousin that's in Santa Rosa that her family has to evacuate.
Wow.
So here's the thing I get, a little bit, well, people are always like, save the planet, and, keep the earth from the earth will be fine. It might even burn itself, it could burn the whole surface of the planet and it will be fine. It's us and the resources that will disappear if it becomes uninhabitable.
It's only people.
Yeah, exactly. The animals will adjust. They will find a way. But if water becomes contaminated and it's quickly becoming an issue, or there's not enough drinkable, potable water.
Well, there isn't. We don't realize how in certain areas people have to walk, for 2 hours to get water each morning.
Right.
I mean, we're lucky as far as for me, I can open up a tap, and water comes out. It may not be the best water in the world, but we can get it. Some people have to, walk 20 miles a day to get the free water. But it's also what's happening with the hurricanes, where because of our water, our oceans are getting warmer. And there, when the hurricane comes over the ocean, it gains strength. And the more I see what's happening in the United States is tornadoes. I never heard of tornadoes in certain areas.
But we had them just last year or 2 years ago, and it was an F1, and it took out a small area of part of our town is a hamlet is Millwood, and my friend's house was spared, and it was just like, you have the earthquakes and some areas are completely decimated, and then around the block they're fine. So this happened, but it caused havoc here. It was pretty crazy.
Sometimes my question is, are we having more natural disasters, or is there more news about it? Is there more news stations? I'm a 24/7 news person. I wake up in the morning to go onto my MSNBC to see what happened. I
No.
have to know, especially if I'm on the West Coast, I'm 3 hours behind.
No, the climate is changing and global warming is having an impact. And there's, was it last week there were 5 hurricanes or cyclones or something? 5 at the same time?
Mhm.
I mean, unless you weren't reporting as much in 1872, but
Oh, no, but they were reporting a lot. I used to read the paper all the time in the mornings in
so
1872.
yeah, so it's just crazy. I mean, the climate,
I'm older than you think, Wayne.
yeah,
Well preserved, I'd say.
Right.
you're like the
Not
7-year-old
only
man.
that, but the the rate of extinction of
Mhm.
wildlife is at an all-time
Yeah.
high. We're just losing more and more species of wildlife on the planet, and we can't afford to do that. The last time we talked about this, I had a quote, Max, and I don't remember where it was from. I think it's some Native American quote. It says that we cannot afford to wait for the day when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish has been caught,
Right.
and the last stream is poisoned until we realize we cannot eat
Right.
money.
Yes, I remember that quote. I remember we did that quote. That's
Yeah,
a great quote.
that's profound.
And it's really true. If you want to get it from, there's a book called The World Without Us, and it's by Alan Weissman. And it gives a picture of what it would be like if humans went away. And
Well, there are people who say we are in the beginning of a mass extinction, which will include humans, which is
yeah.
Well, it all started without humans inhabiting the earth. It was the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if God did it on the first day and created the earth and then put humans in the 7th day, but there's a large period that scientists tell us that there were only animals and dinosaurs and other type of creatures living on the earth, and man wasn't here. So it's all possible we could go back.
Like 1,000,000 years where there was nothing, no human, no mammal, no whatever. It took a long time.
No,
was there God?
Question. You were going to talk about recycling a little bit, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yeah. Recycling. Okay. You're on, Meg.
Ta-da! There is a super enzyme that degrades plastic bottles 6 times faster than before. It's been created by scientists and could be used for recycling within a year or 2. The super enzyme, derived from bacteria that naturally evolved the ability to eat plastic, enables the full recycling of bottles. Lord knows we need it when you talk about the ocean. I mean, literally, this is kind of a nice picture of what it looks like out there, but there are microplastics in fish. It's in water that we drink. It's crazy.
But this is not a new topic. And Maxine might be able to relate because we come from around the same neighborhood. She's Brighton Beach on Coney Island.
Yep.
And every summer, about March, April, or May, the reports do not swim in the water because it's polluted. And of course, we swam in the water, but what happened is the New York City sanitation department would take their dump trucks and go out to the ocean and dump all the trash in the ocean. Then when the tide changed, all the trash would come back to the shore, and we would swim in it. And actually, no one really got sick, which was amazing. But then there's a story which I don't know I could tell about a thing called the Coney Island whitefish, and I'm not sure if you know what that is, Max.
Well,
I won't go into it now. We have to be on a later hour because there might be kids watching.
Right.
But ask your brother about the Coney Island whitefish.
Yeah.
So it's really a cool idea that there may be an enzyme that can help with some of the plastic problem that is not only in the oceans but on land and landfills. It's just everywhere. People are not as recycling as much as they should be, although.
Well, there was a 60-minute show on a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about the border between Mexico and the U.S. And supposedly they had a filter system that the Rio Grande would filter the garbage out, but the garbage went right through that system into the ocean, the Southern California, and all of them, that was the sanitation dump water, the water from toilets that would flush right into the ocean. So guys, we have to do something. And right now it's going back to original thing. Trump has absolutely no plan to do anything.
Nope.
He has no plan to do it.
Zero.
That's one of the big things that come out. He has no plan for the pandemic. The only thing he wants to make money. And he hasn't made money.
But I think maybe he has a plan to disrupt the election.
Because his ultimate plan is to stay out of jail.
I think his ultimate plan is to be a dictator and have his kids take over when.
Right. Well, I think what's going to happen, they're going to get into his plane, and when the election is over, instead of going to the Supreme Court, he's going to take it and go over to Moscow to his friend Putin.
Well,
and he's going to declare sanctity.
His puppeteer.
Yeah. But anyway, guys.
Was I hallucinating? But did Biden call Trump Putin's puppy? Or did he say puppet? I thought he said puppet.
I don't know. I think part of the show I tuned out.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just.
I'm going with his new nickname because I really don't like saying his name is Putin's puppy. That's my.
But I'm anxious to see how Harris takes on Mike Pence. That should be interesting.
That should be.
But anyway, guys, I know you're the host, Megan, but I think we have people. I think we've been on long enough.
Yep.
I'm getting a feedback.
Could I just read a quote from Jimmy Carter today as we're recording it? It is his birthday, I think 96.
96.
I didn't realize that. I'm glad I put this out there.
You should have sang happy birthday, Max.
Yeah. I know, right? I just want to read this quote because it seems relevant to our discussion.
It is the most relevant.
Like music and art, love of nature is a common language that can transcend political or social boundaries. And I will credit Max with finding that for us.
It's amazing what he's doing at 96. He's still building buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
96.
96, and he falls off buildings and cracks a few bones and is right back up there.
And he has cancer. He's fighting cancer. You know.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing man. Anyway, now can we go?
Yep.
Now can we go?
Help.
Okay, that's a great way to close.
So say goodbye, Wayne.
Goodbye.
Join us next week.
Goodbye, Malcolm. Goodbye.
Bye. Max, Megan.
Bye, Megan.
Bye.
It's been fun.
Peace out, people.
Make sure you go vote.
Yeah.